Now, we all know that the leader when it comes to white nationalism in America and leading the issue of white fear is Fox News. Just the reality. And that's just, in terms of what they are. And folks, you got to understand that this is nothing new. I mean, the Republican Party, they know doggone well how for a long time how they've been operating, and in terms of it is all about whiteness. We've seen that. We know that. And what you're seeing right now is a continuation of that. In fact, someone actually had posted this on Twitter. Give me 1 second. Don't pull it up yet. I thought this was pretty interesting when I saw this. And the articles go right to it now. It says, this is from 1965. Jack Germond wrote this piece. GOP seeks to change white man's party image. That was 1965. Well, clearly not a damn thing has changed since then. So this is little Tucker last night actually tossing this out, which is utterly hilarious when you actually talk to people who don't really focus on the LSAT. Listen to this.
So is Kentaji Brown Jackson, a name that even Joe Biden has trouble pronouncing, one of the top legal minds in the entire country? We certainly hope so. Biden's right. Appointing her is one of his gravest constitutional duties. So it might be time for Joe Biden to let us know what Kentaji Brown Jackson's LSAT score was. What did she do in the LSATs? Why wouldn't he tell us that? That would settle the question conclusively as to whether she's a once-in-a-generation legal talent, the next learned hand. It would seem like Americans in a democracy have a right to know that and much more before giving her a lifetime appointment, but we didn't hear that.
See, it's always hilarious when white folks go to the test. First of all, little Tucker, who says, ooh, release her LSAT, and that's going to settle it in terms of issue of bright legal mind. I think she finished magna cum laude from Harvard. It's a good bet. She's kind of smart. But Greg, here's the other deal. No one's legal mind is based on how they did on an LSAT. It's kind of what you did after law school. It's kind of what you did in the law firms you work with, when you were a judge, when you were on the sentencing commission. But people need to understand, and we get it, this is what black people have to deal with when you have mediocre white men like Tucker Carlson who love to want to challenge black people in this way. And people need to understand, Tucker Carlson is the kind of white person who hurt Clarence Thomas's feelings so much when he was called an affirmative action recruit at Holy Cross and then at Yale. And that's why to this day, he has such disdain from affirmative action, because frankly, Clarence Thomas didn't have enough self-esteem to go tell someone like Tucker Carlson to go to hell.
Absolutely. And Clarence Thomas, to be fair to Clarence Thomas, is a mediocre at best intellect in the first place. He is as close as you're going to get to affirmative action in a white nationalist world. He was absolutely an affirmative action hire when he was put on the Supreme Court. And in the moment when those white men were deciding to throw Anita Faye Hill and the other sisters under the bus, when he felt just a little pressure, he sat there and said, this is a high-tech lynching. So he hid behind race. So Clarence Thomas, of course, who is so beneath contempt that he's almost not worth mentioning, certainly is an example of affirmative action on the white nationalist side. And little Tuck, who I wonder if this obsession with black women, whether it be Michelle Obama, Vice President Harris, Kamala Harris, whether it be Ilhan Omar. I mean, I wonder if it's from the same place that many times we see white male obsession with black women it comes from, which is a secret desire. But that notwithstanding, you first, Lil Tuck, you first. Oh, wait, you didn't go to law school, so you never took the LSAT. Okay, well, what about your SAT scores? Wait, how exactly did you get into Trinity College? Oh, yeah, you told Columbia Columbia Journalism Review that you spent most of your time in undergrad drunk. And then when you applied to the CIA and got rejected, your daddy told you, and you'll appreciate this, Roland, as a journalist for whom this will never be true. His daddy told young Tuck, why don't you go into journalism? Because they'll take anybody. And then he got his first job at the Policy Review, and he told the Columbia folk that the standards were so low that he could get a job there. He is the embodiment of affirmative action, which is white male economic privilege. Now, that having been said, he knows that. Now we have 7 more letters to add to the assault, this anti-black racism, because of course we know that Tucker Carlson is the nightly source of white nationalist talking points in the world. He has added KBJ, he has added LSAT to CRT. This is nothing but politics. And so, yeah, I'll end with that for now, because I enjoy those clips of Tucker Carlson, because the only time I get to see him. He's Klan.
And the thing, Larry, and this is really how we have to learn to fortify black folks. I don't get bent out of shape when mediocre white men like Tucker Carlson say stuff like this, because that's what they've always done. And see, they think that, ooh, if I call the black person the affirmative action hire, again, they think we're all like Clarence Thomas. They think we have low self-esteem. Man, white boys tried that at Texas A&M, and this is exactly how I responded. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all think I give a damn what y'all think? I mean, it's simple as that. Look, I work with mediocre white people, especially white men, when I was at CNN. And I would sit there, they would be in the newsrooms, and I remember we were discussing an education segment once, and I said, it was some Supreme Court ruling deal with busing. I said, let's book Floyd Flake on the show. Someone goes, who's Floyd Flake? And I said, I'm sorry, you're a producer for CNN in New York, and you don't know Floyd Flake. Former Congressman Floyd Flake. Reverend Floyd Flake. I said, President Wilberforce University, Floyd Flake. I'm like, who the hell do y'all know? And see, that's the reality. And we have to get black folks to understand this is the game they're going to play, and they're going to try to find those buttons to push. And then which is, and let me be real clear, which is why, yes, it pisses me off that Biden had to step out there and talk about how the Fraternal Order Police is backing Brown. See, again, and again, I didn't feel as if she needed to say, even in her own speech, that, oh, I have an uncle who got caught up in the drug trade and is in life in prison. Oh, but I also have family members who are in law enforcement. I'm not explaining shit to these people. And that's the thing. They want us to always qualify ourselves to make them comfortable. I'm just not I have no interest whatsoever in making mediocre white people comfortable in their racism.
Yeah, let me tell you something, Roland. I'm not explaining to anyone anything about my credentials or the work I've put in, late nights, et cetera. And first of all, let's talk a little bit about this mention LSAT for a second in the history of standardized testing in the United States, which is based in racism, right? It's basically created more barriers to prevent Black people and other minoritized groups from getting an opportunity. So let's first of all talk about standardized testing. Second of all, this idea that George Jackson is not qualified and asking about LSAT is like if Patrick Mahomes, who obviously won a Super Bowl, et cetera, you ask him about his high school stats, right? It doesn't make any sense. But once again, Black women in particular have to deal with these racial stereotypes. And if we're going to talk about, once again, this idea about asking about somebody's academic credentials, President Obama heard the same thing about, what his grades look like in the undergrad and law school, right? So once again, these are echoes of things that we've dealt with for the last several years. And you're right, Black folks shouldn't have to explain to individuals about their credentials. George Jackson's credentials speak for themselves. She's highly qualified. We know that. And it's the same game that we've played for decades in this country. And listen, I believe she's going to get confirmed. She should be confirmed. She's highly qualified. And when I looked at other members of the Supreme Court, her qualifications far exceed many of them. So this idea, once again, we're going to play this game with a lot of these racial tropes about Black people, particularly Black women. As the Black community, we're not going to have it. We're going to support her nomination, and I look forward to her confirmation.
Back to our Roland Martin unfiltered video in just one moment.
Time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punching!
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way. Honored to be on a show that you own. A Black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Like, wow, Roland was amazing on there.
Stay Black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared. You dig?